Hello, my friend. Carl Michael Pilslis here. Very happy to be with you today and to share with you this video. Very glad to be part of IBB Talks, reaching around the world with a message of hope for life and especially for business and leadership. Today, I want to continue talking about the 26 attributes, the 26 characteristics of true leadership. I call him or her the ABC leader because we take in 26 letters of the alphabet and we gave them each a quality. And today is the word stability. So the letter S for stability. A leader has to have stability. That means she has to be stable, rock solid, grounded, rooted deeply. We're talking about a solid foundation. How important is a foundation? The greatest leader who ever lived was Jesus Christ, and he wrote in his famous Sermon on the Mount about, actually, he didn't write it, he spoke it, and somebody else wrote it down, but he spoke about two types of people. He spoke about the one type of people that hears the good message, that listens, but doesn't apply. Okay? I know there's people who don't even listen, but he's talking about both people listening, and this one person listening and not doing, listening and not applying. And he likens this type of person, a person that builds a house on sand. And then the rain falls, the storms come, the waves of the ocean hit that house, and the fall of that house is great, he says. Great is the fall thereof. Why? There was no foundation, no solid foundation. Then he talks about a second person. He says, this person listens and does it. She or he listens and applies the truths into his life, into his business, and it's like a solid foundation, and he likens that house, which is, by the way, your life, your business, whatever you're building, that house, the foundation he likens to a rock. He says, this is like a building upon the rock. And then the same rain comes, the same storms come, the same waves come, and the house stands firmly because it's built upon the rock. So what do you want to build? You want to build something big, something great. You want to build a business. You want to build a church. You want to build a organization. What do you want to build? A family. You need a solid foundation. How big shall it be? How high shall it be? How wide shall it be? How deep must it be? The foundation, I believe, are several things. You know, it's applying truth. I think it's principles. I honestly do believe it's principles. Many of the principles we're talking about in these videos and also on all the other videos that many of the speakers talk about, especially Gary Schotten. He talks much about foundational things and principles. I love teaching principles because they don't change. You know, tips, tricks, and tactics and methods change, and they come and go, but the principles don't change. Laws don't change, and that's why we teach principles and laws, because like the law of gravity, hey, if you believe it or not, it works. If you say, I don't believe in that law, it works. Just try it. It works. So that's why we teach principles, because they're unshakable, like the characters in the alphabet. We teach them because an A is an A, and a B is a B, and a C is a C every time, at every hour of the day or night. So I believe you need to build on principles. And I know you're going to get many tips and tricks and strategies and methods, which is good if you have a principle foundation. Okay? But know this, that methods can be changed and principles cannot be changed. Strategies can change, but principles don't change. A vision may change even, but principles do not change. So I want you to consider principles that are just truth. And that's what you need to build on your entire life, your entire business, and everything else you do. okay? Everything else will fall apart, will crumble. Your family, your business, your church will not last if principles are not in place. So, let me give you 2 quick points and then we'll close this video. Number 1, the strength and the stability lie in the foundation, okay? For long term. Now, if you want to build short term, if you want to build a doghouse out in the backyard, you don't need much of a foundation. If you want to sleep in a tent, you don't need much of a foundation. But if you want to build a house, if you want to build a big business or a big organization, you must have a solid foundation because the strength and the stability lie in that foundation. Number 2, most problems we have are only symptoms. They show up on the surface, they become visible on the outside, on the surface, but really the problem is underneath that you do not see. Okay? A couple friends of mine built something onto the house, like a terrace, and they told me they spent 24 hours building something that you cannot see, and only 3 hours on that which was visible on top of it. 24 hours, they built something that was not visible to build 3 hours something that was visible. That's the power of foundation, and that is what creates stability, and that's what you need if you want to last.